Imagine you've just closed on your dream home. You've signed the papers, wired the money, and within 24 hours, it's gone. Not the house, the money, every single dollar. And the worst part, the bank can't get it back. This isn't a scene from a crime drama. This is happening right now to thousands of Americans. And in 2025, scammers are smarter, faster, and far more convincing than ever before. Shock and stats. According to recent FBI data, real estate fraud losses topped $173 million last year, and the average victim lost $72,000 in a single hit. In one case, a young couple in Texas wired their life savings, $94,000, to what they thought was their title company. The email looked legitimate, the phone number matched, but the title company never saw a penny. Because a scammer had been secretly monitoring their inbox for weeks, the couple, they never got their money back. Their dream home, gone to another buyer. Now, maybe you're thinking, this could never happen to me. But let me ask you, have you ever wired money? Have you ever clicked a link in an email from your bank or realtor? Have you ever trusted an online property listing without seeing it in person? If you answered yes to any of those, you're already in the danger zone. These scams don't just target careless people, they target everyone. Doctors, teachers, veterans, retirees, even real estate agents themselves. In fact, one of the fastest growing scams in 2025 is aimed specifically at licensed professionals. And here's the twist. This year, scammers have a new weapon: artificial intelligence. We're talking deep fake voices that can sound exactly like your real estate agent. Fake virtual tours that show you a home that doesn't even exist. They can clone an email address, mimic writing styles, and even send documents that match your state's official format. You could be looking straight at a scam and never know it till your money is gone. That's why today, I'm exposing the top 5 real estate scams of 2025. The exact schemes draining bank accounts right now. How they work step by step. And most importantly, how you can avoid becoming the next victim. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot these scams before they happen. The red flags you can't afford to ignore, and the simple habits that can protect your money and your home. So grab a coffee, turn off distractions, because what I'm about to share could save you tens of thousands of dollars. Let's start with the #1 scam draining home buyers in 2025. Before we move forward, like and subscribe to Real Estate Scout for more informative videos. Picture this. You've been house hunting for months. You finally find the one. The price is right, the inspection passes, and your agent calls to say, "Congratulations. We're ready to close." You get an email from your title company with the wire transfer instructions, and within minutes, your life savings are gone, stolen by a criminal you've never even met. What it is. Wire and escrow fraud is, without a doubt, the #1 real estate scam in the United States right now. Here's how it works. Scammers use a tactic called business email compromise, also known as BEC. They hack or spoof the email account of someone in the transaction, usually a title agent, escrow officer, or even your realtor. Then they monitor the conversation quietly, sometimes for weeks, waiting for the exact moment you're about to send your closing funds. When the timing is perfect, they send an email that looks 100% legitimate. Same signature, same logo, same tone of voice. With one small difference, the bank account number belongs to them. The 2025 numbers. According to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, real estate wire fraud cost victims over $173 million in 2024, and experts are already projecting higher losses in 2025. The median loss per case, around $72,000. That's not just numbers, that's entire down payments, wiped out in seconds. And here's the chilling part. Once you hit send on a wire transfer, you often have minutes, not hours, to stop it. If you miss that window, your money could be laundered through multiple accounts in overseas banks before anyone even realizes what happened. Take the case of John and Melissa from Florida. They were first-time buyers, excited about closing on their new home. 2 days before settlement, they got an email from what appeared to be their title company. The email said there was a last-minute change to the wiring instructions due to a bank error. The new account details. 100% fake. They wired $94,300, their entire life savings. And didn't he realize anything was wrong until the title agent called, wondering where the funds were. By then, the money had already been withdrawn in another country. The bank couldn't reverse the transaction, and the couple had to walk away from their dream home. How scammers pull it off. Step by step. Infiltration. They compromise an email account via phishing links, malware, or stolen passwords. Observation: they quietly watch email exchanges for dates, amounts, and key contacts. Timing the strike. When the closing date is near, they mimic the agent's style and send fake wire instructions. Pressure tactics. They often add urgency. Funds must be sent today to avoid delays. Laundering: the money is sent through multiple accounts, often overseas, making recovery almost impossible. Psychological tricks. Why do so many smart, careful people fall for this? It's because scammers exploit 3 things. Trust. You've been dealing with your realtor or title agent for weeks, so you trust the sender. Authority. The email comes from someone you see as a professional in charge. Urgency. They make it seem like any delay will jeopardize the closing. In that emotional state, people skip the normal verification steps. Red flags. Last-minute changes to payment instructions. Slight differences in the email address, for example, .com versus .co. Urgent language demanding immediate transfer. Bank account name not matching the title company's legal name. Requests sent outside normal business hours. How to protect yourself. Verify by phone. Always call your title company using a number from their official website, not from the email. Double-check details. Even a single digit off in the account number could mean fraud. Use secure portals. Avoid emailing sensitive information. Use encrypted communication. Set a callback rule. No funds are sent without verbal confirmation from both parties. Wire and escrow fraud is terrifying because it can happen to anyone, even the most cautious buyer. But it's not the only threat in 2025. In fact, some scammers are now targeting properties you don't even own yet, using artificial intelligence to create paperwork that looks real enough to fool even seasoned professionals. And that brings us to scam number 2. AI-driven land and vacant lot scams. Now, if you thought wire fraud was bad, imagine being tricked into buying a property that does not even belong to the seller, or in some cases, does not even exist. And in 2025, artificial intelligence has taken this scam to a whole new level. Hey, the new twist. Land and vacant lot scams are not new. Criminals have targeted unoccupied properties for years because the real owner isn't there to notice what's happening. But here's the 2025 upgrade. Scammers are now using AI tools to create an entire fake reality around these properties. They use deepfake video technology to create realistic virtual tours of land parcels, complete with fake drone footage. They generate falsified property deeds that pass casual inspection and even look authentic to busy agents. They impersonate legitimate owners using AI cloned voices that sound exactly like the real person. This means a scammer sitting in another country can convince you, with documents, video, and a voice call, that they read the rightful owner of the property you want to buy. Real case. Iowa City example. Let's talk about Iowa City. In just the first half of 2025, one particular vacant lot was targeted by fraudsters over 10 separate times. Each time, the scammer claimed to be the legitimate owner and pushed to sell the lot quickly, usually below market value. They'd send over scanned deeds, ID cards, and even hop on a video call to prove their identity. But the entire presentation was generated or altered using AI, thankfully. In that case, a sharp-eyed agent caught inconsistencies in the ownership records. But think about it. If that lot had been in a different state with a less cautious buyer, the scam could have gone through without anyone noticing until it was too late. How they pull it off? Step by step 1. Target selection. They search public county records for vacant or absent-owned lots. 2. Owner impersonation, using generated IDs. Fake email accounts and voice cloning, they pretend to be the legitimate owner. 3. Fabricated documentation, they create deeds, notarizations, and title transfer forms that look official. 4. High-pressure discount sale. They offer the lot at an attractive price, but insist on a quick closing, often all cash. 5. Money vanishes. Once the funds are transferred, they disappear, leaving the real owner and you in a legal nightmare. Why does this work so well? Because buyers see too good to be true pricing and rush to secure the deal before anyone else notices. And when you hear what sounds like the seller's real voice confirming everything on a live call, your guard drops instantly. Red flags. Seller refuses to meet in person or allow site visits. Sale is below market value and needs to close quickly. Documents have minor formatting, inconsistencies, or mismatched fonts. Voice or video calls with slightly unnatural speech or video artifacts. Seller insists on remote notarization and wire transfer without face-to-face contact. How to protect yourself. Verify ownership through public records. Cross-check the seller's name with the county recorder's office. Request in-person or verified video meetings. Meet at a title office or with a licensed notary. Check multiple forms of ID. Compare signatures and verify government-issued IDs through official channels. Work with a trusted title company. Never skip title insurance for vacant land deals. Be suspicious of rush deals. Scammers create urgency to avoid scrutiny. These eye-driven scams are getting so sophisticated that even seasoned professionals have been fooled. That's why staying informed is your best defense. And hey, if you are finding this information valuable and you want to keep your investments safe, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the Real Estate Scouts. We break down the latest scams, trends, and insider tips every week, so you can protect your money and your property. Now, AI may be the shiny new tool in a scammer's arsenal, but there's another scheme that has been quietly stealing homes for years, and is about to spike again in 2025. It's called title piracy, and trust me, it's every property owner's nightmare. You go on vacation, you come back 2 weeks later, find strangers living in your house. The locks have been changed. Your name is no longer on the title. So according to county records, you've already sold the property. We'll come to one of the most brazen and devastating real estate scams in 2025, title piracy. What it is: title piracy, also called title hijacking or deed fraud, is when a scammer illegally transfers the ownership of your property to themselves. Without you knowing, they forge documents, fake signatures, and file them with the county recorder's office, making it look like you sold the property. Sometimes they use the property as collateral for loans. Sometimes they sell it to an unsuspecting buyer. And sometimes they simply move in. It sounds impossible, but with digital public records and remote notarization, it's easier for criminals to pull off than ever before. Who's most vulnerable? While anyone can be a victim, certain groups are especially at risk. Absentee owners. People who own second homes, vacation properties, or rental units in another city or state. Elderly homeowners. Seniors living alone are frequent targets, especially if they've built up a lot of equity. Investors with multiple properties. The more properties you own, the harder it is to monitor them all. Owners of vacant land. Just like in scam number 2, the lack of on-site presence makes it easier for scammers to operate unnoticed. How it works. Step by step 1. Research. Scammers find target properties via public county records. 2. Forgery. They create fake deeds, forging your signature. 3. Filing. They submit the forged deed to the recorder's office, which often accepts it without question. For monetization, they sell the property to a third party, rent it out, or take out a mortgage in your name. 5. Disappearance. By the time you realize, the scammer and the money is long gone, leaving you to fight an expensive legal battle. Real-life example. In one 2025 case in California, a retired teacher returned from visiting family overseas to find another family living in her home. The buyers had purchased it in good faith from a scammer who forged the deed and sold it for $450,000. It took over a year in court, tens of thousands in legal fees to get her house back. Red flags: unexpected notices from the county recorder's office. Utility bills or tax statements suddenly stop arriving. A sudden change in your mortgage or property tax account. Strangers contacting you about selling your property when you never listed it. How to protect yourself. Get title insurance. This protects you financially if someone fraudulently claims your property. Sign up for property alerts. Many counties offer free alerts when changes are made to your deed. Work with trusted escrow and notary services. Ensure identity is verified in person. Check your records annually. Verify your name is still listed as the rightful owner. Keep personal data secure. Don't make it easy for scammers to forge your identity. Engagement plug. Title piracy can leave you bankrupt and homeless before you even know you've been targeted. That's why it's so important to stay educated on the latest scams. If you want more insider tips on how to keep your property safe, hit that like button and subscribe to the Real Estate Scouts. We're here to keep you one step ahead now. While title hijacking is terrifying, there's another scam in 2025 that is less about stealing your property and more about stealing your trust. It's called a pig butchering crypto scam, and this year, real estate professionals are losing millions to it. It starts like a friendship, a social media message, a networking introduction, or maybe even a dating app match. At first, it's casual, small talk, shared interests, maybe even talk about real estate opportunities. But behind the scenes, this isn't a new client or investor. It's a scammer fattening you up for the slaughter. And when they finally make their move, the hit can wipe out your savings in one click. What it is? This scam is called pig butchering, a term that comes from the idea of fattening up a victim with trust and false promises before taking everything. In 2025, a disturbing new twist has emerged. Scammers are targeting real estate agents, investors, and home buyers with fake crypto investment platforms. They use long-term relationship building to make themselves seem trustworthy, sometimes spending months building rapport before convincing you to invest in what looks like a higher return, lower risk opportunity. Why real estate professionals are targets? Agents and investors are appealing targets for 3 reasons. 1, they often have access to large sums of money, commissions, investment funds, or client escrow accounts. 2, they're used to moving money quickly to secure deals. 3, they have public profiles, making it easy for scammers to research and personalize their approach. In fact, the National Association of Realtors reported in early 2025 that U.S. real estate professionals lost over $15 million to crypto-related pig butchering schemes last year alone. How it works. Step by step 1. The approach: they contact you through LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or even real estate networking groups. 2. The relationship build. Weeks or months of friendly conversation, discussing mutual interests and business opportunities. 3. The opportunity pitch. They mention a safe crypto investment platform they've been using, showing fake screenshots of massive returns. 4. The small test. You're encouraged to deposit a small amount, which you can withdraw successfully. This is to build trust. 5. The big hit: once you invest a larger sum, tens or hundreds of thousands, your account is frozen, the scammer disappears, and the website vanishes. Real story? Take Sarah, a broker in Nevada. She met someone on a professional networking site who claimed to be a tech investor dabbling in real estate. They spoke almost daily for 4 months, sharing market insights, leads, and even personal stories. Eventually, he introduced her to a crypto platform only available to top-tier investors. She tested it with $2,000, saw it grow to $2,400, and withdrew it successfully. Encouraged, she invested $95,000, her retirement savings. 2 days later, her account was locked. The platform went offline, and the investor was gone. These scams work because they exploit emotions, not logic. They use consistency, talking to you daily to build trust. They offer proof, fake dashboards, and withdrawal options. And they create FOMO, making it seem like you are missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Red flags: an online friend or contact pushes a specific investment platform. Promises of guaranteed high returns with little or no risk. Pressure to act quickly before the window closes. Encouragement to invest more after initial success. lack of transparency about licensing or regulation. How to protect yourself. Verify the person. Cross-check their credentials, company, and history through official sources. Research the platform. Look for regulatory registration and independent reviews. Avoid mixing funds. Never use business accounts for personal investments. Limit exposure. Never invest more than you can afford to lose in any single opportunity. Slow down. If the opportunity can't wait for due diligence, it's not worth it. These scams are getting harder to spot because not a quick smash and grab, they a long con. And the only way to beat them is to know they exist. If you're serious about protecting yourself, your business, your money, hit that like button and subscribe to the Real Estate Scout. We're here to keep you one step ahead of every trick in the book. Now, we've covered scams that target buyers, sellers, and even agents. But their S1 scheme that has been around for decades and is still thriving in 2025, and it's costing renters and first-time buyers millions every year. Let's talk about fake listings and rental scams. You're scrolling through listings, and there it is. The perfect home. Great neighborhood, beautiful photos. Rent is half the usual price. You message the owner and they tell you they've had dozens of inquiries, so if you want it, you need to send a deposit today. You do, and just like that, you never hear from them again. What it is? Fake listings and rental scams are among the most common and profitable. Real estate frauds in 2025. Scammers steal photos and descriptions from legitimate listings on Zillow, Realtor.com, or Airbnb, then repost them on social media, Craigslist, or Facebook Marketplace. The hook: the price is so good you feel like you have to act immediately or miss out. Once you send a security deposit, application fee, or even first month's rent, the scammer vanishes. The 2025 numbers, according to housing fraud reports this year, 70% of victims paid a security deposit, 59% paid a non-refundable application fee, 50% paid the first month's rent before realizing it was a scam. And in many cases, renters didn't find out until they showed up at the property, only to meet the real owner, who had no idea their home was being rented out online. It's a real story. In Arizona, a college student thought she found the perfect off-campus apartment. She wired $1,200 to the supposed landlord, who promised to overnight the keys. Days passed, no keys. When she drove to the address, the current tenants told her the unit wasn't even available. The photos and listing had been stolen from a legitimate rental website. How they pull it off? Step-by-step 1. Steal. They copy photos and details from legitimate listings. 2. Repost. They place the fake ad on free or low-security platforms. 3. They offer below-market pricing and a compelling backstory: owner out of town, missionary work, military deployment. For urgency, they push for a deposit before you can view the property. 5. Disappearance. After payment, they block you and vanish. They prey on hope, urgency, and fear of missing out, especially in competitive housing markets. Renters are desperate to secure something quickly, and scammers know exactly how to push those buttons. Red flags: rent significantly below market rate. Landlord avoids in-person meetings or property tours. Request for payment before seeing the property. Payment methods like wire transfer, gift cards, or cryptocurrency. Poor grammar or inconsistent details in the listing. How to protect yourself. See it first. Never pay before viewing the property in person or via a live video tour. Verify ownership. Use county records to confirm the owner's name matches the person you're speaking to. Research the listing, reverse image, search the photos to see if they appear on other sites. Pay safely. Use secure, traceable payment methods. Trust your gut. If the deal feels too good to be true, it probably is. Rental scams can drain your savings and derail your housing plans in a single day. That's why staying informed is your best defense. If you want more ways to protect yourself and your money, make sure you hit like and subscribe to the Real Estate Scouts. We bring you the latest alerts and insider tips every week. We've now covered all 5 of the top real estate scams hitting Americans in 2025. From high-tech AI fraud to old-fashioned bait-and-switch schemes. But before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap so you can spot these red flags instantly. All right, let us quickly run through the top 5 real estate scams of 2025. so you can keep them fresh in your mind. Number 1. Escrow wire fraud. Hackers posing as your title company to steal your closing funds. Hash 2. AI-driven land scams. Deepfake property tours, fake deeds, and false ownership claims made believable with advanced AI tools. Number 3. Title piracy, title hijacking. Criminals transferring your home's title without your knowledge, especially targeting absentee owners. Number 4. Investment syndicate Ponzi schemes. Fake real estate investment groups promising unrealistic returns. Number 5. Fake listings and rental scams. Stolen property photos, fake ads, and urgency tactics to take your deposit before you ever see the place. Every single one of these scams has already cost Americans millions in 2025, and the year isn't even over yet. Remember, real estate is one of the biggest investments you'll ever make, which is exactly why scammers target it. Whether you're buying, selling, or renting, always slow down, verify everything, and trust your gut. If you've ever run into a scam like this, or almost did, drop a comment below and share your story. You might save someone else from falling into the same trap. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the Real Estate Scout. We've got more insider real estate alerts, market updates, and expert tips coming your way, including how to spot hidden clauses in contracts that could cost you thousands. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.